Hi, Will. Thanks for joining me. So obviously today was a big game for Manalight, as a lot of people were torn between who would come out on top, between us and Exertus. What does this win mean for you guys?
Well, it's obviously a pretty big win for us because it means that we still have a chance to claim first place in the ESL Prem if we beat Renegades. Oh, well, obviously the other three teams, but primarily Renegades are our sort of biggest threats if we beat them in the last game. And of course, as well, it does sort of mean that if my predictions for who's going to win actually end up coming out, we'll end up being second seed and we'll play against Exertus. And of course, like maybe we'll have choice of side or something like that. So it gives us kind of like the edge going into that best of three series and playoffs if everything sort of falls aligned. It comes down to that.
Okay, so like I said, a lot of people were torn between this game, but it was quite one-sided in the end. So what do you think the biggest reasons were of actually winning this game?
I think both teams had looked pretty shaky before. Both teams sort of made mistakes in previous games that sort of shouldn't have been made, but we have worked extremely hard to sort of remove those and iron them out. And whilst I think we definitely still had some, I think because we were so proactive and in short sort of made less mistakes than Exertus did, I think that was sort of the main factor coming into it that ended up winning us the game. That, and we also had like extremely good communication in game. Everyone was sort of doing their part a lot better than we'd ever have done before, even in scrims or whatever. So like everyone sort of massively stepped up. I think they felt the sort of pressure and really wanted this win. So I guess that all sort of amalgamated into the amount of energy we managed to put into that game.
Okay, so like you actually touched on before, like a playoff spot is practically kind of confirmed for us now. But it's going to be quite likely that we may play Exertus again, but in a best of three. How will we repeat tonight's win, but in a longer series?
Sure. I mean, so I think, yeah, if we assuming we were to lose to Renegades and Exertus and us win every other game, yeah, we'll be playing against them. I think obviously we'll have the confidence going into it that we've got from this that we can beat them and that we sort of will also have choice of side as well or whatever. But I think I think today has shown us is that if we do play extremely proactively and everyone actually puts in that amount of effort into the game, that we can, sort of achieve heights that perhaps, maybe a few weeks ago or even a couple of a month ago or something that we wouldn't have necessarily believed we could have achieved. So I guess it's not necessarily what's going to happen in the best of three, but more the fact that before the best of three, so the next couple of weeks coming up, that we'll just sort of be really prepared and definitely work on these weaknesses, such that we'll even come into that best of three series stronger than this. And in a sense, it'll be a race between us and Exertus as to who can improve the best in the next 3 weeks, and then that will really sort of show in the best of three if it comes down to that.
Okay, so obviously now we've actually got to, in terms of stature in the league, to like a second place position, like in some people's eyes. Do you feel like you can go after that first place now?
Yeah, so I mean, in our eyes, top three was always I mean, sort of like where we saw ourselves, but we none of us think that Renegades or Exotus were sort of unbeatable. Like we didn't think we were third place. We just thought that second and first place would be hard to contest. But like between the three of us, any team could get it. And obviously, Exotus lost to Renegades, so in a sense, it's like between us and Renegades as to who will secure first. But I definitely think we can chase first. Like I don't think it'll be easy, obviously, and Renegades is a really strong team. But at the same time, it is also best of one, so weird things can happen in that scenario. But in our eyes, we've always been sort of gunning for first place, and if we end up falling short and falling at third, then I guess it's one of those almost like at least we tried. But at the same time, we're not going to sort of, I guess, roll over. We're going to try and win every single game, obviously, especially against teams like Exertus and Renegades.
Okay, thanks for talking to me.